Hey everyone, we're going to show you 1, 2, 3 different ways to have your weight shift reactionary, where you don't have to think about it. So many of you are trying to shift your weight, and that's positively the worst way to go about it. We're not Pinocchio, where we have to put the strings back on. We're Pinocchio without the strings. So it's time to move properly. It's time to move in a reactionary way. This is how you do it. Sav, Moo, let's go to the studio and show these nice people how to shift the weight in a reactionary manner. Okay, so a never fail situation in all of my lessons for the last 38 years. Nobody ever fails this particular test. Sav, put this in your left hand. Take your golf position, facing the camera, and you're going to take the ball from that left hand and you're going to toss it over here to me. Where's your weight?
Towards you.
Hold your finish so that, all right, so toss it over here, hold the finish. There we go. Now, where's your weight? On that lead leg.
Yeah.
When did it get there? You rewind that, you'll see that the first thing that had to happen was that the weight had to shift to that lead foot. You use the pressure in the ground now to move the body out of your way so that your arm had access to come to me. So now if you take a golf club now and you swing in my direction, so pretend you're going to throw that club at me. Just don't let it go. So that club would come my way. And if you put that in slow motion, show me a top of backswing, what would be the first thing you would do to throw the club to me? That's it. There it is. Squatting into that lead leg. That pressurizes that lead leg. And then all of a sudden now, everything gets to clear out of the way so that you have access over there.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you're playing golf? What's your favorite task?
Throwing it out there.
Throwing the club in the direction that she wants to start the ball. Now, here's a really good way to feel that. If you've got an area that you can throw clubs, like a netted area indoors, or even around your range, you get a nice netted area, and just throw some clubs. I'm going to go to the center of my curtain here. Notice where the club was coming out of my hands. You'll see Sav put this in slow motion here. So the brain goes to the ground, uses the ground to get my body out of the way, so I have access to throwing the club right here in that curtain. Go check out any of our videos, Throwing the Club Shawn Clement on YouTube, and you'll have a blueprint in which to do that with. So what Sav's going to do is she's going to throw the club left edge of this intermediate point for a draw, right?
Yeah.
So do one above the ball, Sav. You saw the blur of your club.
Yeah.
So she saw where the club was passing. That matched the direction that you want to go on, right?
Yeah.
So now that you lower your club to the grass, if you throw it that way, can you miss the ball?
No.
All right. So give it a nice throw in that direction. Let's see. Well, look at that. Lovely little draw starting down the left side and drawing back slightly back. That was a great miss, Sav. So she can't repeat that exact motion. So all she can do is just throw another one out there and see what happens. Woo, that sounded really good.
It was a little thin.
Thin to win, baby. So she's hitting a lovely little 7-wood right now, and that's her 200-yard carry club.
No, it's like
215. So how did that feel?
better.
Well, there we go. There's 210. So when you throw the club in that direction, here's the cool part. It's been scientifically proven that she can't repeat the exact same throw every time. You try to throw a dart at the bullseye, you're never going to hit the bullseye every time. But over time, as you throw toward the bullseye, the brain myelinates that action, and then in 2 weeks, doing that an hour a day, you'll hit 15% more bullseyes, and the spray pattern is going to be 15% closer to that bullseye. So Sav's going to stay here and throw the club an hour a day for the next 2 weeks. She'll be 15% better at doing that. When you throw the club in that direction, you get a weight shift and you get a hip clearing. So you get a good golf swing. So this is what works really well for Sav and for so many of our students. So let me show you, or let us show you, another little drill that you can use to create that same action, but in a different way, a different task that's going to promote the same beautiful movements. So here's an amazing action that you guys can do in the gym,
Right.
working on your golf swing. Imagine working on your golf swing in the gym while you're working out, okay? Talking about kill two birds with the same stone. This particular exercise gave Moo the turbocharge to leap 4 clubs past me and into 43rd in the world of long drive, with carries in excess of 390 yards and personal best of 420 yards. So, without further ado, Moo's going to show you
The Atlas swing.
the Atlas swing, baby.
So yeah, the Atlas swing is a nice exercise that helps you improve your sensory or proprioception with weight shift. So there's a component of the backswing with it. So what you're trying to do is build up the momentum so you can go up and then come back to the other side. And the only way you can do that is if you allow the legs be involved in the action.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So the beautiful thing about this kettlebell Atlas swing
Yeah.
is that you're doing massive range of motion, right? So the
Yeah.
body has to do a full 190.
Correct.
The only way the body gets to do a full 190 is if the weight shifts into the pressure of that lead leg.
That's right.
So when you're going that way, the lead leg is your trail leg, if you will.
Yeah.
And then when you're moving back towards the target, then the lead leg has to take the lead to get you out of the way.
Correct.
So let's see you do a little perpetual motion there.
Sure.
Love it, right?
Yeah.
So the weight shift is essentially a squat of pressure into the ground.
That's right.
To help you deliver an action towards the target, because you guys can try this right now. If you hold your arm out and, to the side and you let it fall, all it's going to do is fall into your body. Your body is an obstacle to that. So if I take my arm and let it fall in front of me from my golf posture, all I'm going to do is allow the top of the arm to collapse into my rib cage. So if I want to go that way, I got to let my arm fall towards Moo. So the brain's going to go to the ground and shift pressure, weight. That's going to move me out of the way so my arm can swing past me towards Moo. So that kettlebell needs access to swing past you. Otherwise, it's going to freaking hurt.
That's right.
So now that you know how to shift your weight properly in a reactionary manner and that you don't have to think about it, to elaborate more on this, go to wisdomingolfpremium.com and get the rest of your game built properly around this weight shift. How to clear the hips, how to hold the club properly, how to release the club properly. We have done our homework and we're going to show you how it's all put together. Go to wisdomingolfpremium.com and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
So now if you did a little perpetual motion facing the camera, Moo,
Okay.
and do that with the golf swing and pretend you're going to throw that club in my direction like that kettlebell drill.
For sure.
Notice it's the same squat in each direction. So what's extremely important for you to understand as you keep going, Moo,
Sure.
notice his left leg has to go to the ground and squat into the ground to go into the backswing, and his right leg is going into the ground to get him to go to the follow-through. Now
right.
notice, you see his head going up and down like crazy,
Yeah.
like a big piston. But notice he's cutting grass in both directions all the time. So you don't have to think about how far up or down you're going.
Yeah.
You're going to feel what you need to do to let the arms swing past you, to let the kettlebell swing past you. And that's a really cool way to execute brainlessly. Correct. So let's watch Moo hit one of these shots now. Get your favorite ball here, Moo.
Thank you.
And what club do you have?
So I got my 8 here.
Okay.
Going for a draw.
Woo. Sounded hit.
A little thin.
Thin to win, baby.
Thin and toey.
All right. Let's try that again.
Okay.
There you go.
hilarious.
So one of the things that you'll see from down the line, notice he's got some good knee flex at address. Watch how his legs are extending up and then squatting back down and coming back up again. And all Moo is doing is throwing his club left edge of that intermediate point. And there's a smooth little 190-yard, carry with a blade 8-iron, right? Those are standard, lofts that you'll see on the PGA Tour.
Yeah. So I'm going to have one more here.
Sure.
Going to get a nice flush one here.
That was still thin, buddy?
Yeah, it was still thin.
Damn, that sounded so good. With all that speed, it sounds compressed, because it is, even if it's thin. Did we get one yet?
No, not yet. But we're getting closer to the flag.
Getting closer.
Yeah.
That looked good.
Yeah, that was the right one, feel-wise.
Yeah.
Just
So feel a little more heft.
yeah, I'm trying to find that.
Right?
Yeah. So take my time in the backswing.
Feel some nice heft.
That was better.
Ooh, that sounded good.
Yeah. That was heft.
There we go. A nice little, what is it, stock 195-yard carry with the 8-iron?
That's right, yeah.
Stock. So when he's using, and a good way to feel that kettlebell, we talk to our students all the time. We just posted a wonderful series on our premium channel called No Arms.
Right.
So literally, when you feel the weight of your arms hanging from your shoulders at address, and you can't use the arms, you got to use your legs to heave the arms into action. Isn't that what we're doing with the kettlebell?
That's exactly it.
Because you can't swing this kettlebell
Yeah.
with just the arms,
No.
because your arms would just collide into the rib cage all the time.
Yeah.
So you have to use the legs to heave the kettlebell into action.
That's right.
So there's a fabulous way for you guys to get the feel of proper weight shift and reacting to get out of the way of something heavy. So I'm going to show you one more amazing drill that you can use that's very, very easy for you to understand. And it's one of my favorites. It's in our Kinetic Chain Facilitation and Engagement series on our premium channel. And you guys are absolutely going to love it. Stick with us. So one incredibly important thing for you to understand is that this ball is an intersection on the way to the target, a very precise one. So when you saw Sav before, and she was taking a practice swing, and she was observing where the club was passing. So you can see the blur of my club, and you can see that it's passing right there, and there's a very specific shape to the arc. So this is really important for you to predict how to put the ball in the way of your action to target. Now, if you look at anatomically how your body works, if I only had one arm and I was cutting grass with one arm, this would be my lawnmower. And you notice how the center of that machine is right here. It's my right shoulder. So notice it keeps cutting grass right underneath my right shoulder. So if I take that, bring it over here and let it go, well, you'd notice that my club is going to basically cut the grass at the right place every time. So if I take both hands and put them together to take my grip, the center of my machine now is right here between my two clavicles. So if I'm going to take some grass from here, because the lawnmower, when you take grass, it's going to go in a specific direction of the momentum of the blades. So I'm just going to take that and send grass towards my wall over here. So notice where the club actually cut grass. It's cutting grass right here. So if my attention is take the grass from here and whip it over there into the wall, the first thing the brain's going to have to do is go to the ground. Use the ground to get my body out of the way. See where my hands are now? Now the club is coming down, collecting the ball first, continuing down to take the grass, and send the grass to the target. So by default, I get this amazing contact with the ball when I focus on taking grass and sending it to the target. And if the ball is in the center of my stance and I'm whipping grass clippings to the target, I'm going to put my eyes right here in front of the ball so that the ball does not become my target. And then I'm going to send that grass over there. So you'll see from down the line here, I'm going to use an intermediate point. See that? And I'm going to send my grass clippings right edge of that intermediate point with a nice throwing action. So my eyes are in front of the ball. I feel I got some nice momentum on the way out there. And I'm going to send some grass out in that direction. So this is my 7-iron. See the grass in front of the ball. Feel some nice momentum delivering some grass to the right of that intermediate point. Yes, I'm going right edge. Yes, I'm going right edge. There it is.
Very nice.
So that was perfect. And there's, damn, Moo. I'm catching up.
Those new irons are good too. Yeah,
I wish. Yeah, as one of my students walked off with my Blade 7-iron, and so I'm using. I'm getting used to these new limited COBRAs, 3D printed, and they feel unbelievable. There's that, and the loft is very, very similar. It's between 32 and 34 degrees. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at a carry of well over 180 yards because I'm giving myself a beautiful amount of momentum to whip my grass clippings into the direction that I want to start the ball. To resume, my eyes are here in front of the ball. I'm going to take those grass clippings and whip them to the right of that intermediate point. I'm going to use a nice dose of momentum to do that with a lot of ease. And there we go. Off to the right it starts, drawn back. And there's another wonderful carry.
Wow.
So, don't think about shifting weight. The last thing you want to do is try to teach this machine to shift weight. You've been doing it all your life. I want to walk that way. I got to fall forward and catch myself. I just shifted my weight. So, find a task that's going to do this automatically for you and deliver that task in a very specific direction. and then you'll see how everything starts to hone in on that, okay? For more information, go to wisdomingolfpremium.com. Check out the programs that we have to help you in the off season or during the season, whether it's on the golf course, in the gym, and for speed training. Moo's got this amazing speed training program. And for general instruction altogether, check it out, wisdomingolfpremium.com. See you there.
Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to leave a comment down below, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you later.